The narcissist will do anything if they think they can get away with it. They will be involved in any event. They will take any action. And they will create any situation. They will do anything of any kind because they have a sense of entitlement. They feel entitled to things, whether it's material possessions, attention or admiration. If they believe they can take something without facing consequences, they will see it as their right to do so. Their inflated sense of self-importance leads them to think that the rules don't apply to them, especially if they believe they can manipulate the situation to their advantage. Because they have a lack of empathy. They have an inability and unwillingness to recognize, understand or care about the emotions, needs or experiences of others, which deeply influences their behaviour and relationships. Because they struggle to perceive and understand other people's emotional states. So they may not pick up on subtle emotional cues, like body language or tone of voice, that would signal that someone is upset, anxious or in need of support. They have a lack of emotional awareness, which leads them to disregard others' feelings altogether. They may acknowledge that someone is in pain, but they do not feel or care about the other person's suffering. Which means that if you or another person is upset, the narcissist may be indifferent, or they may view the situation as an opportunity to manipulate or gain control, rather than offering emotional support or comfort. Because everything is just all about themselves. They're self-centered. They view the world through their own lens. They prioritize their emotions, needs and desires over everyone else's. They fail to consider how their words or actions affect others. So they act in self-serving ways without regard for others' well-being. Without empathy, narcissists are more likely to violate personal boundaries because they don't fully understand or respect the concept of boundaries in relationships. They will invade your personal space, make inappropriate demands, or manipulate you to get what they want, all while disregarding how these actions affect you. They will exploit you for their own personal gain, knowing that you are in a vulnerable position, but not caring. They will manipulate, deceive and use you without feeling guilt or remorse, because they see people as tools to be used, rather than individuals with their own needs and rights. They experience a lack of compassion in romantic relationships, friendships, and even family dynamics, because they are not emotionally in tune to their partner's needs. They may seem cold, distant, or uncaring when you express sadness, anger, or hurt. They might react with annoyance or become defensive, instead of offering empathy and understanding. Narcissists often engage in gaslighting, a manipulation tactic in which they will make you question your own reality or feelings. Since they lack empathy, they may disregard the emotional damage they cause to you. They may also blame you for their own actions, refusing to acknowledge their role in the situation or how it might have affected you. Narcissists have only superficial or conditional relationships. They form relationships based on what they can extract from others, whether it be attention, admiration, power or validation. These relationships are shallow, lacking genuine emotional connection, and are easily discarded when they are no longer serving the narcissist's needs. When a narcissist hurts someone, they do not feel remorse, guilt or shame, unless their actions affect their own reputation or they face consequences. They may rationalise or justify their behaviour, and instead of apologising, they may become defensive or even accuse the other person of overreacting, because narcissists are emotionally unavailable. They are primarily focused on themselves at all times, to where they will dismiss or downplay the emotions of others, because they are unable to engage in deep emotional intimacy. This emotional detachment is particularly damaging in close relationships, where empathy is essential for connection. It results in strained connections, isolation, and toxic environments, where people feel unsupported, invalidated, misunderstood, emotionally drained, manipulated, or unimportant, due to the narcissist's inability to care about their emotional state. Because narcissists have an inability to genuinely understand or care about other people's emotions, needs, or suffering, which leads to manipulative, self-centered, and exploitative behaviour, often resulting in broken relationships and emotional harm to others. The narcissist's absence of empathy is central to how they engage with the world around them, which leaves those around them feeling neglected, validated, or hurt. Because narcissists will do anything if they think they can get away with it. When you are dealing with a narcissist, anything might happen, especially things that are unimaginable, inconceivable, or unthinkable, or things that you may think are improbable or unlikely. They will do things that are beyond belief, to the point where if you told most people about it, they probably wouldn't even believe you. They would think that you're making it up. They might label you as crazy or schizophrenic, because the things they do are unfathomable to normal people. It's almost impossible for a normal person to understand, because it is very strange and complicated. But narcissists have a lack of empathy, so they often fail to understand or care about the emotional consequences of their actions on others. As a result, they may feel justified in stealing, lying, or taking advantage of people if it benefits them. Especially if they think there won't be any negative repercussions, they will engage in risky and harmful behaviour, because they crave external validation and admiration. So if they believe that their actions, whether it's acquiring something by manipulation or deceit, will lead to greater recognition, admiration, or success, they are likely to take those actions, especially if they believe there will be no backlash or loss of status. Narcissists will even engage in illegal and immoral activities. They will engage in criminal and unethical behaviour, because of their tendency to act in self-serving ways with disregard for others and a lack of empathy, which increases the likelihood that they will engage in such activities. They are arrogant and self-justified. They believe that they are above the rules, which leads them to justify illegal or unethical actions. They will rationalise their behaviour by thinking that they are smarter, more deserving, or more important than others, and therefore believe that the normal moral or legal standards don't apply to them. They might steal, lie, or manipulate because they feel that others won't understand their brilliance or importance. They focus on short-term benefits of their actions, believing that they can avoid or escape consequences. Their sense of grandiosity leads them to think that they are untouchable, which makes them more willing to take risks, even if it involves breaking the law or moral codes. Some examples of their immoral or illegal behaviour include fraud or financial crimes. Narcissists might engage in fraudulent behaviour to get money or resources, whether it's through lying, manipulating, or exploiting others. Abusive relationships. Narcissists often use emotional, psychological, or even physical abuse to control and manipulate their partners. Exploitation of others. They might use people for personal gain, whether it's through manipulation, coercion, or deceit. Substance abuse. Not all narcissists engage in illegal drug use, but some may resort to substance abuse to maintain their image or cope with stress, which could lead to illegal activities. Cheating or betrayal. In personal relationships or business dealings, narcissists will betray trust, cheat, or lie to further their own interests. Narcissists with more severe narcissistic traits are more likely to engage in illegal and immoral activities because of their sense of entitlement, lack of empathy, manipulative tendencies, and disregard for others. Their behaviour is driven by the need to maintain control, dominance and self-image, and they often justify their actions as being in their own best interest, regardless of the harm it causes to others. The narcissist will do anything if they think they can get away with it. Because they're dishonest, immoral, unprincipled, dishonourable, disreputable, fraudulent, corrupt, depraved, vile, devious, sinful and impure. They're degenerates. They've lost the physical, mental and moral qualities considered normal and desirable. They're showing evidence of decline. They're mentally deteriorating and degrading. They're low value. They're of a very low quality because they have very low standards of behaviour, which causes them to become worse, weaker and less useful, to where they're not even any good for themselves. And that is why they have to engage in such despicable and contemptible behaviours, because they're trapped in a cycle that they can't escape from. They refuse to show up as themselves. They refuse to take accountability. So now, they have to rely on emulating and exploiting other people to meet their own needs. Because they would rather have or be anything other than themselves, and that is why they do what they do. Because they're worthless and useless, and that is how they're mentally degenerating and degrading, to where they end up engaging in illegal or immoral activities, but they will be punished for their manipulative and exploitative behaviours. It has significant effects on them, both in the short term and long term. They may not experience the same level of guilt or remorse as others, but their behaviour has consequences, both internally and externally. They will face psychological and emotional internal consequences. They will experience increased emotional instability. Their sense of grandiosity will clash with the regality of potential consequences, which will cause them anxiety, frustration, and even anger. And if they feel that their actions are being threatened or exposed, they will experience a narcissistic injury, which will trigger extreme defensive reactions, such as rage, manipulation, withdrawal. They will experience cognitive dissonance, when their immoral behaviour conflicts with their self-image as superior, righteous or special, to where they may rationalise or justify their actions in order to protect their self-worth. But this internal tension will only lead to more psychological stress, as their regality and their behaviour don't align, to where they will experience an emotional burnout, because engaging in continuous manipulation, deceit or criminal acts requires high level of mental energy. So they will become emotionally drained and overwhelmed, as they attempt to keep up their false personas, maintain control or avoid consequences. Over time, this emotional drain will negatively affect their psychological well-being, even if they don't openly acknowledge it. The odds are that they will never fully confront the fact that their immoral behaviour stems from a lack of empathy and personal integrity. As a result, they will continue to experience a lack of genuine self-understanding. They will never truly evolve emotionally, remaining stuck in a cycle of self-deception, which will keep them from developing a healthier sense of self and contribute to deeper psychological dysfunction. They may also face external consequences, such as legal trouble, damaged reputation, loss of relationships, and social isolation. They may not care about the harm they cause to others, but their actions will still result in emotional backlash or negative consequences, because now they have to keep up a facade of control and superiority, while managing the fallout from the victims of their behaviour. Victims may often retaliate, expose them, or turn others against them, further adding stress to the narcissist's life. Narcissists may face financial consequences, because although engaging in illegal activities like fraud or theft may bring financial gains in the short term, they can lead to significant financial losses in the long run, because narcissists overestimate their ability to get away with their actions, which can result in fines, legal fees, or the loss of money if they're caught or forced to repay what they took. If their illegal actions are exposed, they might also lose jobs or opportunities that would have provided them with financial stability, which means that they will lose power, influence, and status, because they might lose their position in a company, face public humiliation, or lose social status, which directly impacts their sense of superiority and control. They will experience a long-term impact on their self-image. Their actions will lead to negative consequences. It will chip away at their confidence, because their behaviour will lead to a sense of insecurity, especially if they experience repeated setbacks. Their ego will struggle to reconcile the disconnect between their image of superiority and the reality of their criminal and unethical actions, to where they may develop paranoia or heightened sense of defensiveness, especially if they feel threatened by the possibility of getting caught. They will become obsessed with protecting themselves and maintaining their reputation, which will cause anxiety, overthinking, and strain relationships. This level of paranoia will have long-lasting negative effects on their mental and emotional health. Their actions will lead to psychological instability, emotional burnout, legal trouble, social isolation, a damaged reputation, and a loss of power and control. And all because they're so focused on the short-term benefits of their actions, so much so that they do not even see it coming. They do not even see just how badly the long-term effects will severely impact their emotional well-being, relationships, and personal stability. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Share your thoughts in the comment section. Hit the subscribe button to receive the notifications. If you would like to support the channel, you can donate at paypal.me/Narc Survivor. You can book a one-on-one with me on my website. It's narcsurvivor.co.uk. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.